We ensure that states are encouraged to adopt the model policy. We've been working with the states in several areas. When I was Secretary Industrial Policy here, one of our challenge was that how do we make states easy and simple? Because over the years we have built up so many rules, regulations, procedures, paperwork, and we made India extremely complex, very difficult to do business. And while India jumped up 65 position on the ease of doing business, India is a very large country, it is bigger than 24 countries of Europe. And therefore our challenge was to work with the states. We created outcomes and we challenged the states and we started ranking states on ease of doing business. The first year we did it, Gujarat came number 1. But the very next year, Andhra beat Gujarat. And the third year, the new state Telangana beat both Andhra and Gujarat. But the good thing was that the eastern part of India, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, did radical reforms, massive reforms. And in Jharkhand, the ease of doing business was driven by the present Home Secretary when he was Chief Secretary. And actually Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh came number 4 and number 5. They made radical reforms. And therefore, once you start naming and shaming states and you start putting ranking in public domain and you say that good governance is good politics, a lot of difference is made. We carried this forward in NITI Aayog and we started ranking states on health, on education, and on district hospitals. And we've seen a radical change when you put this out in public domain, the ranking. And therefore my view is that a lot of these issues of policing, we need to rank states and put this out in public domain. We work with, we in NITI Aayog have worked with the Ministry of Home Affairs in creating a police effectiveness index. We have developed the framework. To my mind, the percent of women police officers in total police force need to be made a very integral part of it with a very high weight. And organizations like CHRI can develop a full-fledged sub-index across all the important points raised by them in this document. Issues of recruitment, facilities, representation of women police force at higher levels. Because this study makes some very sensible recommendations on increasing not merely the recruitment of women, on changing the stereotype of women police, creating facilities to function, a whole range of these things. We are doing a similar thing on aspirational districts. If you look at the map of India, there's 115 districts of India, and these districts are backward in terms of education, nutrition, health. We don't call them the backward districts of India, we call them the aspirational districts of India. And on 49 indicators, we are making them compete with each other. Each of them on a real-time basis on our data, on a portal that we have created. Collectors compete with each other to take these districts up on 49 indicators. And there's such a fierce competition that my view is that in the next 3 years, you will see these districts, lack of doctors, lack of teachers, states, we've seen huge improvement, massive improvement, because we're putting the data on a real time. When I was a collector, we were working on data which used to be 5 years, 6 years old. But now technology enables you to get data on a real-time basis and put it in public domain. And therefore, if you are doing competition amongst different districts on a real-time basis, you see radical change in performance. And this is what we are doing in the aspirational district. We did this in water management. And therefore, a policy like this, a model policy like this, as the one developed by CHRI, along with an index, may help in better assessment, implementation, adoption, and monitoring of the changes that the new phase of the police system may bring about. A new phase which will be based on recruitment, training, and encouraging women police in India, and about changing the mindset of the people of India itself, because that requires a paradigm shift. And therefore, CHRI must take this message across all states, especially in the states where women participation is extremely low. And we in NITI Aayog will be extremely happy to work in very close partnership with CHRI to make this a very integral part of the index, to ensure that we bring in greater awareness, greater consciousness. But as Sanjay mentioned, the biggest change that we can bring about is through a Jan Andolan, and that is about creating awareness amongst the people of India. Without awareness, without changing the mindset, and without people asking for change, it will be very difficult to change things. So we need to drive change from bottom upwards as well. This is a great initiative, and I compliment CHRI, and we in NITI Aayog are always available for you to take this forward. Thank you very much.